Hello, good evening. Good evening, people. How are you today? My side, pretty good. On my side, pretty good. So, just to summarize a bit what we did in the last days, we basically did some bug fixing. By the way, I finally figured out why the follow was missing from the list, and actually now we have it. Was my fault. I was just looking at the wrong place. So I found a place where you can set it, and I set it, and now we can see the follow. Very, very easy. Yeah. So what are we gonna do? Well, yesterday we were fixing the name of the items and the name of the characters, and that's actually working. So yeah, so we reached yesterday already a very good state, and tonight, like in half an hour, I fixed it. Was pretty easy. Just we were missing few points here in terms of positioning. Also, I had to change the position of this window in the code, because actually in the code we have, as you can see here, I placed two more lines. One is to set the pivot of the name, and the other one is to set the relative location. So I would say that at the moment is working okay. It's working okay. Now another thing I want to do, I want to add a version number somewhere. You know, when you launch the I think in the login window, no, because if you arrive to the login window anyway, it means that at least the engine is working. So why I don't see it? Should be called win login, no? Win loot. Because it's not under game, it's under main menu. Login widget. Okay, this one. So I think we can place the version number somewhere. We just have to remember to update it though. But I think we can. I can put it. Where do you want me to put it? I think it should be a small, you know, a small thing. Maybe here. And font, I don't know, like 16. And not bold. And it would say 0.7.3, something like that. I don't know if I really like it. Do you want it here or do you want it in another place? By the way, I think this credit button is not in the middle. I think it's really not in the middle. We can also put it under credits. Or I can put it like small down here. In theory, it should be alpha 073, but I think we can stay with the 073 and that's enough. Where should I put it? Up there? Yeah, maybe up there is not too annoying, but I don't like alpha. Let's say 073. Something like that. I think it's not invasive at all, right? So it's not annoying to say. I think it's good enough. Hello, Marcelo. Welcome. So we had some reports of someone. They were saying that they could not log in into. No, one thing before doing that, I want to check the position on all the characters. By the way, should we move all these characters to another folder? Because at the moment this folder is getting a bit messy. But because I think that now some of the characters will not be correct. What is this speech bubble? No, speech bubble. Interact message. No. Character name. Yeah, you see the character name now is super low. I think for what I've seen, it should be pretty much like in the middle of the head. If you put it like this, it will show in the proper place. So I think we need to save and update all the characters. So we need to check out all the characters and fix it one by one. This character text, yes. I think like here I think would be enough, would be good. And anyways, a name that is shown only when it's selected. The problem is that when you are speaking with him, the name is shown, but it's also shown in the speaking window. One thing we can test maybe is the robe. That could be interesting. Okay, we'll place it just here. I don't know if I have to put it in the middle of the head or at the top of the head, but I think like this is okay. And because it's slightly above. Hello, Tony. It's a bit weird calling you Tony because you have don't you have a picture of a girl in your Discord or something? So character name. So this one should go like here. Yes, this is a good position. Okay, then I think here could be nice. The middle of the head. Okay, so we are just fixing all the character names. So because the position is set by the father blueprint, let's say the one that holds all the common functionality, but then every character can specialize it, and so in this case every character is specializing the position based on his height, right? By the way, we are still missing the eyes of this guy. Can we fix this? He has no eyes. You see? He has no eyes. Why he has no eyes? Are the eyes inside somewhere? Yes, they are inside. For some reason the eyes are not positioned properly. It seems that they are not following the proper animation blueprint. Let me see. Because this one are using, in theory you should use the one of the father, right? Why? Why only the eyes are different? Everything, you see that everything is moving, but the eyes are not moving. And also the eyes are in a kind of a weird position, like at the back. Like if they're not been imported with the same skeleton or something, I don't know. I mean, I can force him to use the Kleros male animation blue. Okay, this way he fixes it. But it's strange because he should get it from the father. So everything should be inherited from the father unless is specified. You know, you see like the wings, they don't have anything set here, but it just work okay. Okay, anyway, I think like this it works. So I think we fixed them. I don't know if it will work forever or not, but okay, now we have the eyes again. Nice. Okay, so I need to move no, this one I moved it already, right? Yes, I moved it, so we can save it. We can save it. Okay, the crown I think is the only one that has it correct. Yes. So the one is done. Noltrir. Then I really hope we can do a pass of improving the character geometry. I think will not be very hard to do, considering that you know, our geometry is very. Is she closing the eyes? What the hell? There is something going on with the eyes. Okay, we're just moving the text up for everyone. I think there are some characters that just need some small updates. I mean, it will not be, you know, too complex. Just adding some polygons here and there. I think the clearance, for example, is still good, but there are some that are pretty rough. Okay, I think we basically did them all. Or nearly. So I created one blueprint for each of them. Look at this guy. 10 years later, still a nice guy, you know? Still handsome. Okay. Yeah, this guy, for example, we really need an upgrade. His face is so bulky. And his arms are also so bulky. And the same for the Innon. Also the Innon is really so. He's so bulky. Okay, so we have updated the position of the text on all of them. So I think we can check in these changes. Right? Commit. Yeah. So we update. So we added 0.7.3 version to the login screen, and then we fix the name text position on top of the characters. Okay, which is pretty good. So this one is done. We can check it in. So when we do a release, we can fix that. Okay, so now there was one guy telling me that he couldn't load in, and I think this could be potentially an error also for other people in the future. So I wanted to check, I wanted to check why. The easiest thing for me is to I think the name was Eritz. He said that he couldn't load in this character. So I think what I can do, I can move it, and I think I did it already. I can move it to my account. So I will see his character under my account, and I can load in. Now let me just check in which situation we are here. Let me just check in which situation we are with the server config. So yes, we are loading the dummy database, and we are loading items NPC. Okay, at the moment I don't need really this, but it's okay. I think it's okay. We are in a good position, so I think we can start. By the way, I started the compilation on Mac. It's taking forever. Like I started the compilation on Mac, and it takes about, I think it takes about 20 hours to do the compilation. The reason is that I have a Mac Mini, and the Mac Mini is pretty old. It's a 2014 Mac Mini, and so it's only an i5 processor and only has 4 GB of RAM and such. So it's a bit in trouble, to actually run a lot of stuff, and so it's low. But even if it's low, I think it's doing it. And we don't care if it's low. I mean, we care if it does it. So if I check the top, maybe it finished. No, it's impossible. I don't see the CLang running anymore. but I see the DSYM util, which maybe is the linker. I can go and check maybe and see if it's still running, because I launched the compilation of Unreal Engine and it was going super slow, I tell you, super slow. Okay, let's try to log in. Yeah, we need this loading screen, by the way. But I don't know if you see it, but the sky has been changed. The sky is now the Liacum sky, so it's a rock, like it should be. Before it was just a normal sky. Okay, you see if I click on myself, we said that we have to exclude ourselves, right? Because it's stupid to put the name on ourselves. Yeah, I will do that. Okay, at the moment you see that now I see the names of all the objects and it sticks with the item, so I think it's pretty good, no? I mean, it's a bit low, it's like 20 centimeters from the bottom, but I think it's okay. We could decide to change the font, but I think it's okay. You see? And you can click, now you can click on it from about 20 meters away. I think if I go further, yeah, like this is out of range, but like here is in range, so I can say it, which is like, you know, reasonable range. But if you want to pick it up, so if you want to have the context menu, you see that it's not popping up at this distance, but it's popping up at this distance, so I think it's good. And I don't know if I want to do the right click as well with the name, because it overlaps a bit with the menu, so maybe not. And if you click anywhere else, you know, is getting removed. Let me remove it from ourselves. I think it should be fairly easy. So basically, show name on selected actor, we should just do a check that the actor is not myself, right? So we can say if this guy is equal to this, I mean to self, if it's equal to self, we will do nothing, okay? And oops, that was a bit too much. So this is the first check that we do. We check that this is not equal to self. And if it's equal to self, we do nothing. Otherwise, we go and we put the name on top. Okay. So I think that is enough to exclude our player. Okay. So I think these things are working. Okay. Yeah, I have to relaunch it obviously. But okay, let me relaunch it this way, and also let me try to log in then with the character. With the player, there was one player saying that he could not log in. I think that would be very interesting to know why. Now, another thing that we have now is that all the monsters that we have, at least all the monsters we have loaded, should be showing up properly in game, right? So we have about half of the one that we need, because for different reasons, some import issue and some other stuff. But we have about 10 or 15, I think, 10, 12 in, which is anyway good. Why I don't see Why I don't see that guy? Ah, because I have to connect in production. So I think, yeah, because it's a production account. So let's go into prod 2 and let's avoid loading items and NPC, otherwise it takes forever. Okay, but let's use the production database and see how it goes. Okay, starting up. Still starting up. Why I don't see it? I don't see the window. The server is up. I see it. I don't see the client. I didn't launch it. I launched 2 times the server for whatever reason. Okay. The server started twice. We have our 073 here at the top. So I'm connecting to the local because in the local I have anyway the production database copied. Now that we switch to it, so it should be good. What? No, something is not working. What's going on? Come on. This thing didn't save or what? Default server config. Planeship production 2, yeah, exactly. Why the server is not loading the right database? Oops. It should. We can see, yeah, 458 quests loaded. Okay, now I think it's the right database. Because we have 458 quests. Look at how many, okay, it went away, but look at how many crafting combinations that are existing in the database, like 7,000 or something. 7,000 combination, 4,000 transformations. It's quite insane. Okay, the server is up. It didn't take too much. I was thinking it would take more than that. If you are new to the stream, just don't be shy. Ask the question you want to ask me, okay? If you don't understand exactly what I'm doing, or if you want to have more details about the game, or whatever, why, 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 why? Because it's copied from the... Why? Let me take the accounts and change, because it's a bit annoying when we... There's already one. No, 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 no. Strange. Very, very strange. Okay, I think it's working now. So now I should see, here it is. So this is the character that the guy told me was not able to load into the game. I don't know if it's due to items or quest or trades or something else, but I just want to see if it's actually crashing for me as well. And if it's crashing for me as well, we will try to understand why. Hmm. No, for me it works perfectly. It's also true that I didn't load the quest. I can relaunch it, but for me this guy is loading in. Doesn't have much in his inventory. Is a strange inventory? Is it correct or? He has the stuff in his, I mean, equipped, but it doesn't have much in his inventory. Four, five, six, eight, and 9. I think he has 9, 10. He has 10. He has 10 blue. I think the issue is the glyphs. I think he did not patch the client. Let me just double check again what this guy said. Let me see in Discord what he said. The game is not responding, etc. Blah blah blah. Is it on Windows? Yeah, it is on Windows. I don't know. I think because he has he has many glyphs, and there was a bug about having a great number of glyphs. Like he has 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This one should be fine. 4, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, this one also. So he has two magic ways that have too many glyphs, and so this was triggering the old bug, which was basically freezing at startup. But now it seems to be working okay. Masterwork Mercenary Helm of the Defender. Holy moly! That's something, boys. That's quite a name. Major Leather Torso Armor of Waterkin. This guy has good items, eh? Greater Gubernal Bracers. Major Master Redway Robe. Okay, I don't know why it's not working, but for him, I think he's probably due to the fact they didn't patch properly the game. Why there are some characters like this one which are always going back to the front position? I don't get it. You see? So I kind of walk this way, and then boom, immediately reset to the. There is something we need to check. Let me just send a message. Unless he's here connected. Zwei, are you on? So what I'm writing is, for some reason when I move in game with the Stonebreaker character, it always turns 180. I mean, it also turns, it always face the opposite way. It always faces the say front direction, even when I stop walking. So it's not the same behavior of the other character, so I think this character may have an issue, I don't know. But yeah, this character may have a problem. This character may have a problem. Okay, so the other thing I wanted to do was to work on equipping a robe, right? Because at the moment I think we have all the traits in, but we don't have the robe. Like this guy, for example, has a robe, Master Redway robe, but this is not handled at the moment, I think, in our code. So when you are wearing a robe, now if you ask me where is it, it should be under equip item. There should be an event coming from the server which is telling us that we need to equip something, right? And yes, and it's saying something like equipping mesh. So we can maybe check the log of the client to see if no, maybe it does it server side. Yes, it does it server side. So there should be one of those which are trying to equip for our character. You see, he's trying to equip the axe, the lute, that is the one that he has in his hands. Jewelry, something that is not specified. Necklace, sack. I think we have sack in many cases. Bracer greater. I think it defaults to a sack for some reason. So we need to check also in the data that we have why body part 5. Yeah, this body part I think is the one that should tell us where is it. So let me see. When I go inside a keep item, right? Okay, these are the body parts. So the back, I think the back is the one used for the, is the neck or the back? No, I think it's the back. I think it's the back that is used for the robe. Because the neck is this amulet. Yes, the neck is the amulet, and I think the back is the robe. But as you can see, when I put it on, it does nothing because I never added the code that allows that to happen. Yeah, I don't know why it's bugged. We will fix it. I think it's just a matter, is something in the animation blueprint, I think. Because actually all the characters are derived from the same animation skeleton, so they should all move the same. So I think it should be an easy fix, actually. Maybe I can even do it myself, but let's dedicate a second to this robe. Okay, so we need to understand. So body part 7. So this should be. It should be. I don't see a body part 7 coming in, but I see a 2, a 3, a 5, a 4. Strange. It is trying to change the texture. Static mesh component, get static mesh by path. So here is trying to get the mesh, and then it's trying to set the static mesh. And then here is trying to change the texture and attaching the component. If it's right hand, if it's left hand, or if it's helm. But I don't see. I'm missing a piece in this thing. I'm missing the piece where we are substituting the item name with the actual. Or is inside one of these sub-functions, or I'm missing the part where we, because here we do attach component, but this is working only for right hand, left hand, and helm, right? So where the hell is the part? And here we are changing the textures, right? I think we never managed this. Yeah, I think we never did. In fact, it's not connected. But what I'm thinking is that it's not connected also for example, the torso, when we are equipping the plate mail. Hello, Rwanda, welcome. When we are equipping the plate mail, the mesh should be different. Set static mesh. I'm a bit confused by this. Set, why we, so we set the static mesh. To what? I think this part works only, yeah, works only here. Work only if it's an item. If it's an armor, yeah, works only in those cases. It works only on those cases. Also because it's a static mesh, yes. It works only on those cases, actually. So this part of the code is so-so because it's assuming that if we have a mesh, this mesh is an item to put in your hand, but it's not true because we have. So let me check. I think I remember I did. I'm pretty sure I did this robe, a keep robe and remove robe. I'm pretty sure I did it. Yeah, it is. So it was only a test, but as you can see, I was put on robe. So this was the request to the server. Update client robe on. It is overridden in each character BP. Update client robe on. Why should be overridden? Ah, yes, because everyone has his own different, his own different mesh for the robe, so it makes sense. Yes, it's correct. I think I did it on the alien, which was the only one that had the robes. I think I tested it on this guy. Unfortunately, it seems that it's gone now. PT. I did it on him, or I did it on the Dermorian. I did it on the Dermorian. I remember I did it on some characters, but it was long time ago. Really long time ago. It was one of the earlier test that I did. Earlier test. So no, it's no more here. I think I destroyed that. I destroyed that code. I don't know if we have a video where do we have a video where I did it. Maybe I did it in the past and we can go back and check it. Let me just search. Yeah, it's not very easy to search on 300 videos, but maybe if I scroll down, so they are all in the page, and then I search for robe. No. Maybe I did it in one equip. Maybe I called it equip, and then it's one of those where I did the equipment. Why doesn't go more than 41? They started to delete my videos or what? I hope not. Up to 50 arrives, but after 50, like 49 is there. 48, are they starting to delete the old ones or what? 47, no, they are there. Seems that they are there. 46, 35, yeah, it seems that they are there. They were not showing in the list though. Let me search for robe. No. Equip, I think we have a number for equip, but equip weapon, shield and helm, equip item on startup, but equipment and crafting, but no idea where I did it. It was too long time ago. 1 year ago or something. Okay, so I think we have to redo it. But it's okay. It's okay. So basically what I was doing, I was substituting the mesh. So what we need to do, I think the idea to go into the character blueprint is a good idea. So I think we should do it this way. Update client robe on. I can search this, update client robe, and see if is anywhere in our blueprints. No, it's only here. Okay, so because what we need to do, we need to actually switch some meshes. So we need to switch some meshes. So let's do it with the alien character. Okay, so I need something that is called like this. I need something that is called update client robe on. Right? So if I go in my alien character and I do override, wow, there it is. Update client robe on. So this will be triggered when that is called, right? And this will be called this. So I think we need to follow the same path as we are following for the other items. So I think we should still go into a keep item, even if I've seen that a keep item was not getting called for our, which is strange, keeping mesh. Keeping mesh. Okay, let me check. For example, for this guy is a robe, right? This guy is a robe equipped. Okay, so this is a good example. This guy is not the right race, but it's okay. He has a robe equipped. So in the database, for this guy, in theory, we should. So if we go here in the database, this is his ID, I guess. Yes. So if I search this ID in item instances, right? No, I have to say where character ID owner, char ID owner, char ID owner equal to this. Okay. So there should be one which is in location 7, because we said it's 7, right? Wow, this guy has a lot of items. Maybe in the storage. Okay, we can do and location in parent equal to 7. Okay. Actually, since he has 2 I know, because it's probably in another. Okay. So is this one? Is this one which is not in a container? So this one is item standard ID is 699. So this is what we wanted to find. Okay. So if I go in our item stats and I say where ID equal to 699, so here we have, yeah, we have a bad mapping. We have a bad mapping here. We have a bad mapping. Wow. Yeah, there was this reasoning about which, but I think that this one we can skip now. I think I can do it in the blueprints directly. Yeah, I think I can skip this piece, this remove mesh, because here we were telling the engine which meshes you should remove when you have the robe on to avoid, overlaps. But what is for sure broken is this one, this SAC 00. Now, where is this thing coming from? I have no idea. In theory, maybe we have it in our art when we do the updates, because I think I do the updates manually. So we should have a SAC 00 somewhere. Come on, I can do it. Yeah, we have a SAC 00 here, for example. Yeah. No, that is not good. That is not good, because this update is basically fucking up all the robes, right? All the robes. So what we need to do, we need at the end of this, like we did the same for plate armor, light armor, chainmail, we need one for our robe. In fact, I think if I go and search it, so it was ID 699, right? I don't know if I can find 699 here. Yes, there it is. 699 master ray with robes. So these are all the robes are mapped, and as you can see, the mesh is not corresponding to something meaningful. But yes, here it says string part mesh robe. So I think what we can do very simply, for all the ones that have string part mesh robe, string part mesh robe, string part mesh robe. is only for them, right? Because the plate mail is the plate mail using something different, or is using is using something different? The plate mail. Why the plate mail is using something different? Let me search for plate. I have to remember how this thing works. Plate mail. So no, plate mail armor, something like that is called. Plate mail armor. Or plate mail torso armor, I think it's called. Plate mail torso armor, yes, this one. So this one, but also has a part mesh P plate. Okay, so I think we need to check, if there is a string part mesh specified. If we have a string part mesh, it means that we need to swap the. Is there actually a mesh for the dwarven robes? No, there is not. I don't think so. I don't think there is, but I mean, we just have this as an example. Yeah, I will have to test it on another character. But so the point here is that we need to identify this case, right? And I don't think at the moment we are sending this information. Is here item part and part mesh. Here it is. Part mesh. So here we have it. Part mesh. So what should we do? Do you think that we are already arriving here? Because if we are already arriving here, it's pretty good. Means that we have, because I think in the case equipped, I think we can branch on this immediately. If this is not empty, no. So if this is equal to empty, then we can. I think we can do this. I will leave the print string because we need it, because we have so many cases here that it's good to know what it's doing. Then we will remove it in the future, but for now the print string is good. The first thing we will do, we will branch. Now, if this is empty, I think we can continue as we were doing. So we are keeping an item and doing all that stuff. If not, right, the thing that we need to do, we need to treat the special cases. And so I think we need to create a new function somewhere. Can we create it? I think because doing it here is a bit messy. Or maybe I can. I don't know. Depends how big it becomes. But because basically I will have to check. This guy and see and switch. I think I will have to switch on string. I mean, there are not so many cases. There are 2 or 3 cases, no more than that. There is robe. No, actually, there are 2 cases. There is robe and plate. I think there is nothing else. There is this case and the robe case. I don't think there are any other. If I do filter here, yeah, exactly. You see, there's only this 2. So we can only change the mesh when it's a robe or when it's a plate. So I think we can just do this. And then based on this, we will go consider at the moment I think I'm still server side here. I think I'm still fully server side here. So I need I think I need to call. I think I need a new function. I think because I don't want to go through this. These ones are a bit messy, you know, because there is already a lot of stuff that this thing is doing, and I don't think we should mess up with this. Or we call it, and then we manage case number 7. No, I don't like it. I think it's well. The good thing is they will be all in this function, but I think this function is already complex enough. Yeah, yeah, I think so. I think I want to do it. So let me create 2 new functions. We can put it under inventory if we can. They will be called a keep robe, a keep item robe, and a keep item plate. I think simple as that. So a keep item robe and another one which is called a keep item plate, right? So these 2 functions, what do they need? What do they need? They need the part mesh. No, they don't even need it because anyway it's default. So robe is just robe. So we don't. I don't think they need much because they don't need anything. Actually, they don't need anything. They just have to call this function on the proper character. So this one should be overridden. You know, this function. Yeah, exactly. So I think we need to put it here and say if it's a robe, call this on myself because I'm a character. Where we say actor, no, because it can be also someone else. 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 Yes, it can be. In fact, here we are taking. Yeah, we need the actor as a parameter. We need the actor. So this function should have an input which is the actor, exactly like because it can be the character standing in front of us, you know. That is keeping the thing, and we still need to see it. I don't know why I have generic actor here and I don't have the. But I think it's fine. I can cast it. So here I will have to cast it to. But wait a second, because I need so. Did you specify in the actor which is a keep? No, I need this to be overridden already in the right one. No, I need this to be overridden already in the right one. So otherwise it will be more complex. So let me remove the actor. Let me remove the actor and let me call directly. So I will take this actor, okay. I will take this, which by the way I think is the same as this, right? Actor, PS character object reference. This is already a PS character anyway coming out. So this one anyway goes here, and this one goes there, but this one I need to cast. Now it's already PS character, okay. So if I do, why target doesn't like it? Because he wants a character BP. Okay, I can cast it to PS character BP, no problem. No problem, and I can do it before this. Yes. So in this case, I would like to call, yes, exactly. I would like to call a keep item robe already on the right PS character, right? And the same will be for a keep plate. And these two will be overridden in the specific character blueprint. So what I can say here, I can say overridden by each character BP. Okay, overridden by each character BP. Yes, and the same for the plate. Okay, and so so these two will be called all in those cases. Okay, so now let's do the test, for example, with the so I don't think we need to change the data, right? The data I think will be fine. So this one I don't like, we will remove that, but I want to override. So if I compile and save this guy, yeah, I failed to save because everything is open, right? And the server is running as well, so I cannot save the assets that are actively used by the client. It's okay. Okay, so inside of this, I would like to override the equip robe. So this one should be an override in theory, right? So we can, and I want to do the same with keep plate. No, wait. Okay, like this. So now we can see if we go through that and we reach this point, okay, with a character that has, for example, the robe, and I think that character has it, so I think it's good. We just need to change his race. I think we will change his race to alien, and so everything will be fine. Character, these errands, instead of race gender ID 0, we will use an alien male, which is number 3. So we change his race to 3. Okay. So he has the same inventor, it's just a different guy. Just a different... So inside of this, let me just check if we arrive here, okay? Because otherwise we are working for nothing. But I think we will. So let me just do a print of a keep robe and a print of a keep plate. Okay. Let me just do this check here 1 second. And let me launch the client and the server. Now we don't need, let me just do it in a way that is simple enough so it doesn't take 2 hours. Yes, everything is false. Okay, perfect. I think it's okay. And also I think I have deleted all the maps, so I have just the minimal maps. We would like to have the robes for every character, that's for sure. So we are going to develop them. There is the new Enki. Did you see the Enki ones? The Enki one I think are cool. have been created by a new guy, a new contributor. Okay, now we load with this guy, and this guy, as you can see, it just changes race. He has the same traits, the same items, the same stuff. Well, actually, we should have received the equip already here, no? We should have received, no? Equip rogue. Looks like no. I don't remember if the character creation, the character selection is working slightly differently. I think it is. But equip race mesh, before create mesh. Okay, let me try to load it in and see if we receive that message. Theory we should, but no, we are not receiving it. It is not very good. We are not receiving this. We are not receiving this, which means that wait a second. I did it as a function, or I did it as an event. I did it as a function. So why I can override equip item equip, but I cannot override because these are public. Public. What is the difference? Okay, so I think I did it wrong. I did the override of an event instead of an override of a function. Parent equip plate, I don't think it will do anything because it's actually empty. So I don't think we even need it. Okay, let me try like this, because this is now the function that is getting overridden, not the not the event. Huh? Because I mean, we needed to go through that, so that we detect through the out to the inventory system if we have a robe or a plate mail to equip. So we really need that. Otherwise, it's a bit of a mess. Because I don't want to redo it, I want to just reuse exactly the same code that we have for sending the inventory and sending all the pieces of the inventory, and just detect the case where we have this. Well, by the way, I think we will need here we will need a boolean, okay, to say if we are equipping it or de-equipping it. But I can add it later. Just want to see if it goes through that during character creation, character selection, and loading in game. In theory, it should. No. He's definitely not going through that. No. He's not going through this. Okay. Why? I don't know, but he's not going through this. He's not going through this. He's not going through this. Okay, so let's trace it back, which is the only way we can do. So we can trace it back to see. Hello, Lucas. Thanks for the follow. Welcome to the stream. If you have any question on what I'm doing, please ask. Don't be shy. So we are not keeping it properly. We are not going through this. So something or we are not getting the right mesh. So let me expand this one, okay, so that we have a bit more information. And we will expanding saying part mesh. I hope it goes inside part mesh, because here I see two things. I see item part and part mesh, right? Item part and part mesh. But in our database, we have part and part mesh. Okay, we have both. We have both. But yes, the robe is here inside part mesh. So assuming that we send it, I assume that we send it. So assuming that we send it, part mesh should be valid, right? Okay, let me try like this. So now we print out also the part mesh, and so we should know if it's going through. And if it's not going through now, means that is a server side, so that the server is not sending us this information properly. And so we will have to go in the C++ code and fix it. But let me see, maybe there is another small stupid mistake that I'm not seeing now. It's so confusing. Function event override bindings, public private subclasses. Yeah. It's the life of the programmer, my friend. But everything at the end comes together. And also, I'm still a bit new to Unreal Engine somehow. I mean, I used it now quite a bit, so let's say I understand it. But sometimes I'm still, learning new things and trying to understand how things works. And it's so big. I mean, there's so much in this engine. There is really so much. Let me see if the follow is now showing on the screen. Fuck, it's not showing. It's not showing, right? I mean, it's shown on the screen, but it's not showing in the list, in the follow list, in this thing at the bottom left. We have the follow of yesterday, Vazmat, but we don't have the follow of Lucas written on it. Why? No idea. I don't know. This thing is working so this alert thingy. Okay. I want to see if we got this information now. Okay. So equip. But we are not going through that. Oh my god, I think we are not going through that code at all. Ah, stupid me. We are server side. I was looking at the client side. Okay, we are server side. Yes, we are going through this. You see, a keep robe and part mesh robe. Yeah. So we are going through this. Perfect. So server side, we detect that we have a robe to equip, right? Which is pretty good. Does it happen? Does it happen twice? So does it happen in the character selection? No, it seems it happens only once. So probably the character selection is working slightly differently. Because I remember that the coding was slightly different, because at that point we don't have yet, you know, the full character created server side, and so we need to just get the equipment on the fly. I'm a bit surprised that we don't. Okay, anyway, we do it once at least. We do it once. So we detect this case, okay? We detect this case. Now, since we detect this case, what we can do. Do you think if I swap a mesh, it will be automatically replicated? I hope so. If not, we will do it because, like, let me check what we do when we keep an item. Like when we put on a sword or something. Here we are server side, right? We have a property which is replicated. Current item in left hand, which is replicated, and in this case we detach, we destroy the component, and then we set it right hand texture ID. And I think we have a rep notify. We have on rep notify right hand texture something. On rep current item, here it is. On rep current item in right hand. So actually this one, so we are using replication and on rep notify. I understand. But it doesn't seem like we are doing it again. We are not creating the mesh again, right? Current item in right hand. We are only changing the texture. We are only changing the texture. Okay. But I think if we do it, only server side, it will not. Let me check how we do it for the trades. That's very good example, because like when we change the trait, right? For example, we change the bird color or bird style. We do this. We set the skeletal mesh. Mesh air set skeletal mesh. Yes, exactly. Exactly. This is the way we should do it. This is the way we should do it. The point is that are we then replicating this client side somehow, or is it replicated automatically? It seems that I just do set skeletal mesh. Now it would be interesting to know if here if this one is called server side or client side. That would be interesting to know. But set skeletal mesh is our guy. So whenever a traits change, we show it client side on the character. Event set trait on rep. This one is doing it. This one is doing it. This one is doing it with a replication event. So I think we need to do the same. This event set traits on rep, I think is called somehow by the server code. Events and traits on rep. I think so. Set traits on rep. Let me check here. Where is it here? Set traits on rep. Because yeah, on rep set traits. So I think this one happens. This one happens client side. Yeah, client side. So it's called by the server when a certain on rep set traits. And this one replicated using. Yeah. So our problem though is that we don't have a variable which is holding the robe. We have, while for the traits we have, like here you see that we created a replicated variable which is setting the trait server side and then is automatically replicated to the client using the rep notify and that function. We don't have a variable today which is doing this for the plate armor or the robe. Now we can create it, but it's a bit of annoying to create another variable which is already contained in the inventory. You know, it's a bit of a duplication, so I don't like it too much. So I would prefer not to use this system, but to use, you know, our replication. So just sending a replication. Hello, Absolute Truth. I would be buying an AMD chip desktop computer, dual boot partition with primary system in Ubuntu, and with this application range will be less smooth than Ubuntu. Yeah, it should. It depends a bit on your graphic card. One of the issues that we are having with the Linux version is that it requires Vulkan drivers. So it requires Vulkan drivers, or anyway drivers that are supporting the Vulkan API. And the Vulkan API is the one that is replacing OpenGL. And in theory, if you have a kind of a new PC and you have you know, a good video card, or let's say a medium to good video card, it should be okay. If you really have an old PC with bad video card, it may not work. But modern hardware should be fine. Modern hardware should be fine. So, okay, so I think that what we need to do, you know, we need to replicate that change. So, we need to replicate that change. And the point is that we need to replicate it, we need to multicast it, right? Because we want all the players to see the change, not just ourselves, right? Obviously. So if I go here in my character, right? And here I change the and here I change the skeletal mesh for this one. For this one, so if I do set skeletal mesh of the one that was previously associated to the torso, and as a mesh I select alien M robe, which hopefully we have. Yes, this one. Right. So if I do this one will happen only server side. It will not be replicated to anyone. So what I need to do, I need to multicast this. And by the way, I also need to have an input parameter here, which is if I have to equip it or to or not. Right? So here, I think here this one is not changing. I cannot change the input parameter because is derived from this one. So here I need to add a new input, which will be a keep. It will be a boolean. So if it's true, we will put it on. If it's not true, we will remove it. Right? Let me close the server. So and the same should be, by the way, for the plate. Oops, what happened? And the same should be for the plate. So we should have an keep boolean. Yes. So now this one should show up also in our alien character, exactly. So you see that now we have it. So one thing that we need to do is to branch on this, and if it's true, we keep it. If it's false, we keep the torso again. Now it's a bit more complex than this, but for us, for now, let's keep it like this. So super simple. So we'll put again the torso of our guy. Right? Now, one issue is that the torso has to be reskinned again. Yeah, probably. That's a good point. I don't know. Yeah, because this torso will be the basic torso, will not be the skinned one. Okay, but for now let's proceed, and then I will fix that problem later. So we need to call this one on multicast on every character. So I think we need to do a bit more than what we were doing here. Because this thing is not enough, for sure. We need to call another. We need to create a method somewhere. Let's say down here. I don't know where there is space. Here is okay. We can create it here. So we create two new events. Add custom event, and we will call it a key. We will call it multicast. Let's call it multicast. Multicast a key probe, and multicast a keep plate. Okay. And in terms of parameters, we need to have the actor, exactly the same that we have there. So we need the actor, we need this guy. This is a bit of a trick, but and we need to have the equip. So I don't have to copy paste, the parameters. Okay. So target, I don't know if I like it calling it target, because target is a bit of a duplication compared to the target of the normal blueprint. So let's call it actor, and it can be a PS character. No, I mean it can only be a PS character because anyway Yeah. Otherwise it will not work. So this one, in replication, we will set it to multicast. Okay, so if we set it to multicast, this will be executed, and reliable as well. This will be executed everywhere on all the clients. Now, if I remember right, it is not executed locally on the server, so we should also call it on the server if we want. Now, I don't think we really care to change the mesh on the server side, because I mean the collision box is not changing much, so I don't think we care about changing it on the server. What we care is changing it on the client. So this one will be tell all clients we changed robe or plate. We equipped a robe or plate. Okay, so this will be telling all the clients. Now this one can finally call these two thingies, which are the functions in each actor. He wants this as a character BP, yes. Now the only thing I'm thinking is this is calling on every client, passing in the actor that should change his armor. Yes, I think it's correct. I just need to cast this to plane shift to character to PS character BP. Yeah. And if it fails, it fails. It will never. I mean, it cannot really fail. This call cannot really fail because we are putting it, directly in the right place. Okay. So this should, in theory, go on every client and tell them to change the armor. Now we need to call it, because at the moment we are not calling it. So we should call here multicast robe and multicast plate. Okay. And the equip is this thing. Can we take it from here so maybe it's a bit cleaner? I mean, it's still a lot of lines, but slightly better. And the actor is very, very important. The actor is this guy. Okay. So it is multicasting to all the clients. So now, if we compile it this way and we launch it, the difference will be that we will see, and by the way, this will be overridden by each character. Yes, so we should still see this happening and this one key probe getting printed out. But if we connect two clients, we will see it on both clients. Okay. And also here we are going to try to set already the skeletal mesh to this or to this. Yeah, I think it should be fine. Let's see what happens, but I think it may kind of work. I don't know. It should, let's see. Unless I'm missing something, it should work. Now the problem is that when we remove the plate or we remove the robe, the torso will be the wrong texture, I think. Pretty much. I'm pretty sure. Because unfortunately at the moment we are just substituting the default torso and we are not skinning it again. We are not putting on the right texture unless this is so smart that it does it automatically, but I don't think so, because we actually need to store the easiest will be to store the texture ID and then set it again. Didn't really work actually, at least not here. I don't know again if the character creation is slightly different, but let's see in game. I would say no. I would say it did not work. Okay, let's check the log and understand why. So on the client, I'm expecting to get a key probe, and in fact I'm not getting it. On the server, I'm expecting to get the key probe. So yeah, on the server, the key probe, we get it. On the server, the key probe, we get it. So why then is not... So we arrive here. No, wait. We get it on the server. Because I print it here. How is possible that I get it on the server now? I'm a bit confused. Why? So why I'm getting it on the server? So here I'm server side, right? I'm going through this, and he's actually going through this. He's wishing on the string. He's calling this, which is a multicast reliable replicate to all if server. And actually we are on the server because we tested it before, before we had the printout, and we were on the server. And by the way, we have a printout just here, just 2 seconds before, and this printout is exactly this one, okay? And we are on the server side. So we are server side, we do multicast to all, which is this one, which is execute on all, reliable, and this one is then going here, but here we should be on client at this point. Here we should be on the client, right? Why we are not on the client here? It is so confusing. Why we are not on the... Why? So basically we changed it server side at the moment. So server side, probably there is a different, but obviously we cannot see it. I mean, this is a function inside my character BP. Yeah, which is overridden. Exactly. I mean, is this parent messing up things? But I don't think so, because the parent is anyway empty function. So I'm so confused about the multicast. Why is not working? It's not working because I'm going through the character and not through the player controller. Hey Baxus, thank you for the becoming a Patreon. Thank you. That is very nice of you. So now you have access to the alpha version of the game. On the Patreon you will find the links for Linux and for Windows. And you will find also all the instructions on how to do it. I'm a bit confused of this. Why this multicast is not actually doing what it's supposed to do? Am I doing something different here? So the only difference is that I'm not going through the player controller, but I'm going through the. But I can do it on the player controller. It's no problem. Huh? I can move. I can easily move, very easily move. Those two functions, the multicast to the player controller. I think maybe it needs to go to the player controller to actually work. I don't remember, but it seems that we have the multicast only there. So can I move all this block to my player controller? I don't think it will work so easily, but maybe it's kind of working. So he copied this too, at least. And then it doesn't like this for some reason. I don't know why, but let's see. Keep item robe. Yeah, it's an event, but I hope that it calls this function. I mean, it shows like it calls this function, so it should be okay. Hopefully. But this is the thing that we did before, and it was keep plate. So let me see what happens if I go through the player controller, okay? So which maybe is the solution to our problem. The only fact is that I need to call now this from PS character. I need to be sure that I'm calling it, this thing doesn't exist anymore. So I need to get the reference to my player controller, which I guess, by the way, I think I have a variable set to it. Do I have, yes, this one. And so here we do multicast robe and we do multicast plate. By the way, I could have done one only and then tested it because I'm continuously doing things twice somehow just to But anyway, this way we are going on the player controller, and then we are asking the player controller to send it to all the other player controller that exist. So all the other players connected, and the player controller is then calling this function. Now, maybe we can just print a second something here, because I'm not completely sure that. So this will be in player controller equiprob, okay, which is a bit different than the one that we do after, which is not in player controller but is on the actual character. Okay, so let me try like this. The part in the character should be the same, so these two functions should stay the same because there is no difference. So let me try now. Let me try now. Thank you, Baxus. Yeah, we are doing it in the spare time, no? So, I mean, obviously, we are not. We don't have the speed. We don't have the quality. We don't have, the efficiency of a commercial company. But we like it a lot, so we are doing it at the best of our abilities. And the good thing is that we start to see the light at the end of the tunnel. So the game is somehow working now. Somehow working. I mean, it doesn't have all the function of the old game yet, obviously, but the inventory system, the quest system, the magic system. I mean, all of the basic systems are actually in. The answer is no. The answer is definitely no. Okay, so he's not multicasting at all. Why is not multicasting though? That is a bit surprising to me. So now he's not even doing it server side. Okay, at least before he was doing it server side. Now he's not even doing it server side. Why? Before he was doing it server side at least. I think this is the call of the function versus the event, which is messing up a bit things. I think is what is messing up at the moment. But I don't think I have another way. Call function is this one, yeah. I'm calling this function. It didn't even print this one. Did I miss some connections or something? No. Okay, let's go step by step, boys, because otherwise we are just making so, I mean, it's like if this one is not getting called. But I still see my part mesh, right? Let me just check if I'm seeing my part mesh. But I mean, part mesh, I should be seeing it for sure. Part mesh, yes, you're saying so. So here is where we have our part mesh, and our part mesh should be mesh row. There it is, right? It's giving an error. Wait, it's giving an error. Access none trying to read property player controller ref. Really? Okay, so that variable is not valid. Okay, this makes sense. I mean, it's weird that this variable is not valid. Maybe because we are still in the no, but the character we didn't set it yet because we are still in the character selection. Yeah, that could be. That could be that we are in the character selection. 1 second. Part mesh roll. Part mesh roll. Yeah, but it's doing the same. This variable is not set for whatever reason. It's a bit weird, but fine. Okay, we don't have an issue with that. I think we can consider that, okay, if it's not set, it's not set. I'm fine with that. So we can do simply get controller, get player controller, right? There should be one. I fear that this one will be empty. If this is empty, we are a bit fucked, to tell you the truth. But it should not be because we are server side. Well, depends where we arrive from, but I think we should arrive from. But for sure, there is a player controller asking this. There is a player controller which asked the character, asked his character. So it must be there. It must be there. Someone should be there. So let me do this. I need a bit more space. And we take this, we put it here. We connect this one here, this one here. So we are getting the controller of this. We are casting it to PlaneShift player controller. We are casting it to this. We are going here. So we need to see if all this is not failing, but hopefully it's not failing. Because now we got the error because that particular variable, maybe we set it only later on. And that's kind of fine with me. But as you can see, it's not, I mean, things are not very linear, when you are doing something new. You've been playing since 2007. Pretty good. So you are an old bee. We had some people that came back and saying, "Hey, you are still here doing this game." I say, "Yeah, I'm still here doing this game." I know it may sound strange, but it's what it is. And saying, "I was young when I started, and now I have a wife, 2 kids, and a job." I say, "Oh wow, yeah, that's good." I was like 15 at that time. Now I'm 30. I have 2 kids. I say, wow. Yes. It happens. Imagine when your kids will tell their kids and their kids will still be playing PlaneShift in another 20 years from now. So, we click on this guy. Let me say F. Let me see F. So up to here nothing happens. In the character creation, in the character selection, like we don't go through that code, okay? for whatever reason. Here, boom. Here, come on. So something happens. Something happens. A keeping mesh. So something happens. So or the player controller is not valid at that point. Because we cannot go through this point, you know. So something bad happens, or I did a mistake in the connections, or something bad happens here, and we are not inside a player controller, or we are not inside something that is actually recognized. Because now here it seems to be pretty evident that or this fails, or this fails. What I'm doing wrong, boys? What I'm doing wrong? Get controller of this pawn. Get controller of this pawn. You know, maybe instead of get controller of this pawn, we can just do get player controller 0, which is probably better. Because maybe this pawn does not have yet an actual controller associated. Because we are not possessing the pawn yet. Yeah, I think that could be the reason. That could be the reason. That could be the reason. Cross your fingers. We still have one chance. Cross your fingers now. 2004. We need to see. Is it your full-time job or hobby? Is a hobby. Hello, Northland. It's a hobby. It's just we do it as a hobby. We are a group of people. It's not only me. Huh? We are 5 or 6 and hopefully more. And if you join us, we will be +1. But yes, it's a hobby. Like there is people that likes to go cycling, people that likes to go swimming, people that likes to, you know, do something else, and I like to make MMOs. I like to make MMOs. Okay. So now we have, I mean, nothing changed actually, so the guy still looks the same. But let me see if now we identify where we are failing, because I'm sure we will be failing now somewhere. No, actually, now we go through. So we go in PC a key probe. Okay, this is interesting. So we are going through this, but I guess that on the client, we don't reach the client, but the server now is executing the switch. You see this in PC a key probe? This thing is doing it now. I don't remember where we have it, but we have it here. So this one is getting executed. is getting executed. The problem is that it's executed still server side, and this is what I don't understand. What I'm missing? What I'm missing? What I'm doing wrong? I mean, is the multicast? The multicast should go. Okay, let me read again. Multicast. Maybe I'm missing something, but multicast should go client side, right? Or multicast is just going on the player controllers, and then I have to do myself the execute on client. I don't remember. Now I'm confused. So is the because it looks like the multicast still stays server side. Ah, fuck. And then executed on the server as well as all currently connected clients. To declare a multi. Okay. So we still need to go client. Okay. I forgot about that. But then, sorry, well, look at this example. Ask server to role, request role. So here we do play role multicast. We go inside of this. We play an animation. Is this animation automatically replicated to clients or what? Anyway, it's very explicit in the documentation. So obviously here I'm still server side. Okay. Here I'm still server side, so there is no change. So okay, fine, no problem. I'm good. So so what we need to do, we need. So maybe we could have stayed in the. We could have stayed in the player character, right? We could have stayed in the character BP without going back and forth. So I still need so my previous code was correct. Fuck it. So we need to redo it, boys. We need to redo it. I mean to redo it. We need to do it. So we need the multicast here, but we have to remember that it is still server side. Okay, and so we cannot call this. So we need an key probe on client, right? And the key probe on client. Now I'm not gonna do much with this, but and this one may finally get the thing. Why I was thinking the multicast was going client side. I don't know, but I was thinking of that. Why I was thinking that it was going that way. I don't know. So a key probe on client. So let me test this thing. Okay, so if I do this now, and I do this, and do this. So we multicast to all. We are inside. The only problem is that we are inside an actor, but it's okay because we have the actor. We have the actor here. So through an actor, okay. So let me see. So this multicast the keep on robe. So this one doesn't exist anymore. Yes, I know. So multicast robe. So basically, we tested all the possibilities. Huh? basically we tested all the different possible. So we did it on the character first, without the with the multicast, but it was only local to the server. Then we moved it to the Planescape player controller to see if the controller was allowing us to actually go on the client, but it was a stupid test because it may not it doesn't work. And then now I'm moving it back to the PS character, but we actually move. Did I select run on client? No, I didn't. Wait. Don't start because I miss a piece. This one should be run on client. Okay, and reliable. Yes. It is the piece I was missing. And then, so I was saying, and now we are moving it through the character, but we are actually calling the client to execute that piece. Now, all of that would have been done easily, probably with the rep notify, right? The only problem is that I will have to create another variable that then I would have to keep in sync with the inventory, and I don't want to do that because it's too annoying. There are too many reasons why your inventory can be changed. Game master removing an item, you dropping it because you don't have enough space or things like that. So I don't want to create a variable that then I have to keep aligned myself manually. Would be very annoying. Now I don't know why the follow didn't show up. Oh, yeah. No difference. I'm getting mad now. Okay, why? Don't tell me that we are still server side because I don't believe it. Okay. Mesh robe. In PC, a keep robe. Are you kidding me? So we call this one, which is a multicast execute on all. Okay. And we said that it stays server side. Okay. Then this one is calling this, which is run on owning client and reliable. Right? How is it possible, boys, that it's not freaking calling the client side? After multicast, a key probe on client. So here we must be on the client, but what I see is that for whatever freaking reason, is calling this function still on the server side, because he's printing this, he's printing in PC a key probe, and then I think he's not going, and by the way, he's not going in our override, function. It's not going in our override function, which is in the alien character. So it's actually not. So here is coming here, but here is not. Let me call this a key probe for alien. So maybe it's a bit better, because this is a key probe, we didn't get it, right? We didn't get it anyway. This is a key probe, we didn't get it. No, we get it, but we got it on the server still. We got it on the server. I mean, if I do execute on owning client, why is not going through the client? Why? Why, boys? Tell me. Tell me why. Tell me why I'm getting mad. No, I'm not getting mad. But why? Why this freaking thing is not going through? Why this freaking thing is not going through? Why is not going through? Why is not going through? Let me remove the plate, because anyway, we just waste time, doing it on twice, where anyway is not working. So here I multicast. So here I'm on a specific player controller. Yes. This player controller, I call this one, which I'm saying, please go to the client side. Please go to the client side and do something. And then here I say, for this actor, please call this function, which is a key probe, right? And this one goes here, which is then overridden by our alien character. I don't know, boys. I mean, now I moved it. Okay, so now I moved it to Planeshift player controller with the multicast and the get to owning client. Good night, Tony. So this guy doesn't compile anymore. Yes, because I have to change it here. So now this one, this one will be from our player controller called multicast key probe. Yeah. With this actor and with this equip. Yes. Please. Do you think it will work? I don't know. I think it is the last kind of combination, you know, that we didn't try. Yeah, but the alien has, you know, Levrus. You know, Levrus. Levrus has. So I'm testing now on a character that has the role. It's taking a lot of time, so he wants me to wait. Maybe he's working. No, it's not working anyway. Okay. Okay. Let me see in the logs. I mean, if we are still server side, I don't know what to do really. Okay. Okay. We are on the client. We are on the Crusade, Unreal client. We are on the client. So we are in the right place. We multicasted to all. But now here we have an issue. But it's good. It's not bad. It's not bad. It's not bad. It's not bad. So a keep rob on client. So this one gets actually printed properly on the client side. After multicast, let me check if this after. Where is this after multicast? It's still server side, obviously. Yes, it's still okay. After multicast is here. Okay, perfect. So the theory now is okay. So I go on the client, and now I'm really on the client. I say a keep rob on client. Yes. I pass the actor that I want to yes. I go inside of this. This is overread and this is in PC a key probe. Do we print it out? In PC a key probe. In PC. No, why not? It cannot call that function. Okay. So the problem now is that he's not able to call this. He's not able to call that. A keep item robe. Custom event. Yeah, he doesn't like this thing. He doesn't like, he cannot find a key probe. No, he cannot find a custom event. He cannot find this event. How he cannot find it if he compiles? If he compiles, why he doesn't find it? A keep item robe is a function that I call in my PS character is public. I mean, I can make it pure just to be called. Let me see. Let me see one thing. Only. I think if I make it pure, it's just executed without any input, right? That's the difference with the pure. So I don't think that the pure is a problem. Exactly. No, 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 no. The pure is something else. The pure doesn't make any sense for us. Now the question is, why is not calling this function? Because maybe I messed up so much that that now is confused. But I'm just asking. I'm just asking a specific character BP on the owning client to call a function. I don't get why it's not working. I don't know if being another object, it must be an event. It must be an event. Maybe it must be an event. Because actually, it's calling it custom event here. You see, custom event actor is not able to find it. I left the dispatcher. This guy has a problem with the dispatcher, but I don't know why it's not finding this function. Okay, let's create, sorry, just for fun, 1 second. Let's create 2 new functions because now I want to see why that is really getting messy. But now at least we are on the client side, okay? So let me add 2 custom events. This one will be called custom event 1, okay? And then I will create a function, and this one will just print custom event 1. Custom event 1, and then I want a function here which is called custom function 1, and this one will just print custom function 1, okay? And this is on the client side, custom function, okay, 1 as I said. So, and this one will be on the client side, okay? Now, from my player controller, here I'm on the client. I have an actor which is a BP which is valid. So can I freaking call my custom event 1 and my custom function 1? So what prevents me, to call these 2 guys? What prevents me? Because then here I want to call the... But anyway, let's leave it like this a second, because anyway, launching the server and client takes very little, so we can do the test. Because I'm wondering if one of the 2... I should have done a sequence maybe, because if one fails... But I have the event first, right? Because the event... Yeah, I have the event first. Okay, fine. Fine. So let me check if we called it already now or not. Custom. Custom is a bit of a keyword here, but no, at the moment we didn't call it yet. So for sure the character creation is different, right? The character selection is using a kind of a different system. So it must be on the client side. I mean, is my actor that is not valid or? I'm passing the actor all the way through. I'm passing the actor all the way through, so the actor should be valid. Do we get a cast failed anywhere? I don't think so, right? No, we don't. So the should I relaunch the editor because something is a bit fishy here. So why, if I'm inside a player controller on my client, this actor for sure is valid because it's getting replicated and I have it. I pass it through the different functions and for some reason it's saying that custom event actor is null. Does it come out as null from the beginning? But no, because if we would be null, we would fail here. We would fail exactly here. I'm a bit lost of why this actor is not valid. I don't know why this actor is not valid, but actually is not valid. So when we arrive here, this actor is not valid anymore. When we arrive on the client side, the actor is getting, because here I'm still on this. So let's see if the actor is okay. At least here before the multicast. Okay. For some reason we are not passing in the right actor to. We are not passing in the right actor, so it doesn't know who should keep the robe. It's kind of strange, but it's the way it is. It doesn't know who should keep the robe. sometimes you're spending a lot of time on simple stuff. Like this. Should be fairly trivial actually to do what I'm trying to do. Well, it's true that we have the that we have the server side and everything, and okay, so that's a bit of the complexity that we are in a kind of a dedicated server kind of setup, and that is a bit more complex than just a simple game, but I want to see on the server side after the multicast. Yeah, exactly. You see, alien character. This character is valid. Alien character. So our actor is valid. Our actor is valid here. Then I pass it here. In fact, this line is going here, so it is calling this function, which is reliable and unknown in client, and is getting the actor as an input. Trying to understand if it's a replication problem or what is it. Because in theory it should perfectly, I mean in all the tests that I did, it should have worked perfectly already, because actors are automatically replicated. So it's not that I have to say to replicate that character. The character exists server side, exists client side for sure. So it's not that I need to tell him to replicate it in any way. So it's like if the reference of that character is not valid anymore when it's moved client side, but this is very, very, very strange. An actor always exists both sides. So what I'm doing something stupid in the multicast. You see? Actor on client is empty. Actor on client is empty. So I made this scheme a long time ago, but it was basically the description of how you could replicate something between client and server, and how to go through this. So what he was saying is that I have two actors, and one actor is managed by a player controller, which is this one. On the server side, I have the same actor, and I have two player controller. I have the player controller, I have my player controller, and I have the lady player controller. Now, yes, the CRAN player controller does not exist on the second client. Correct. Correct. So if I try to replicate something through this, it will not work. Okay, and that's clear for me. So what this thing is saying is that the way to do it is that I send it through the character, then I search all the player controllers, then each player controller is finding its own actor, and then the actor is replicating client side with the effect right? So this schema is perfect, is exactly what we should do. Now let me understand what I am doing. So I have my actually the difference here is that I'm coming from the server side, and so I'm already here, okay, and I have my CRAN actor here, but that's fine. So I have my CRAN actor. Now I should iterate through all the so I'm inside my character blueprint. Yes, I'm here, and I'm going through this. Yes, and I'm going here with a multicast on all the clients. So this multicast, should be doing this cycle, should be doing this, and I'm asking that to do it on all the player controllers, because actually I'm inside player controller, right? So this is getting executed on all the player controllers server side. Now what this schema is suggesting is that instead of going through the CRAN actor to do something, okay, I understand that. He's saying instead of going through the other actor, go through your actor. Okay, we can do that. Go through your actor, which is this one. And on this one, call, in theory I should call that, I should call a method which is replicated to owning client. So this thing in theory should be replicated to owning client and reliable, and should get as an input my actor, which is a PS character BP. Okay. So here we will print out the name of this guy, okay, on the client side. So this means that, okay, I need to close it. It means that I use the pawn of each player controller to send the replicated message. So so much simpler than this. So okay, so like this, I'm doing it as per schema. The problem is that, I mean, I'm trying to do it through blueprints, and I'm finding it way harder than doing it from C++, simply because from C++ usually I have a function which is called broadcast, which I think is automatically doing what I'm trying to do here, and so it looks more complex than what it is, but I think the solution is exactly this schema. This schema, because when I started, you know, I had this problem already. I was exactly having that problem, and then I figured out that this was the solution. And then I just copy pasted the code through the years, you know, I mean through the time, and I never actually thought about it anymore too much. Now that I try to redo it in another way, I fell into the same trap. You know, I fell into the same trap, and so I did it wrong. Okay, so let me see. Wait a second, now I don't know what I'm printing. I should be printing custom event 1 in theory on the client side. No? No, there's no printing yet. Okay. So I'm printing server side. Let's search the after multicast. Server side after multicast. So here the character is valid, right? I'm using the I'm printing the after multicast, which is going here. Then it's taking the pawn of this particular controller, in case there is only one in this case. And then this one is calling this custom event on this exactly. And it is printing the name of it. And then in theory is printing the custom event one. So on the client side, boys, I think I will stop here because it's getting late, and also I cannot solve it. I don't know why, but it seems that there is something weird going on. My server is not answering to what I want him to answer. Actually, answered now. Actually, answered now. It seems to answer when we put the when we do this. So when we actually move the item, but it doesn't seem to answer when we load the character. But this is already something, huh? What is the difference between when I load? But now it seems that the message is going to the client when I'm moving this properly. Okay, let me try to connect. Let me try to connect. Let me try to connect our function here. Okay. And a keeper will say yes. So basically whatever happens, it will try to put on the robe. The problem is that if it works only when we move the item, that's a bit of an issue, because I was hoping that our code was already passing through. I mean, this is a keep item, this is a keep item, a keep item. I was hoping that this a keep item was called in any case. There is something I have to think about because it looks like it's not getting called when the character is joining the game. It needs to be called only when you switch an item. Now, I'm pretty sure that like for weapons, like you see this character with weapons in his hand, and it's kind of showing. So we are sending this inventory information in the connection. So let me see what happens now when I move. So here is doing nothing, but the robe is not on me. Now let me see if I put it on. Okay, not like this it works. It doesn't have the right material, but that's okay. I mean, that's expected. So it's expected that I don't have the right material, and it's also expected that I don't have the right removal of the other pieces. But this way is substituted the torso with the robe. It is not so. So basically, we had a small success. Okay, so a piece worked, which is nice. But we have an underlying problem. We have an underlying problem, and the underlying problem is that this function seems to be called only when you move an item, and that's not good. Did I put it somewhere here? No. But I mean, I can use this one. I mean, it's not a big issue to use this one. It's just that we are not solving the problem in all cases. We're just solving the problem sometimes. But so I think I can do it this way, but I'm thinking if we do it this way, which now seems to be fine. Is it the right way? Because good night. The power of the rep notify, the power of the notify variable is really to skip all this server to client because it's done automatically for us, which is nice. But I mean if it works this way, I can leave it this way. The only problem is that we will have an issue Yeah, so I think like this it will work and it will put it on and off. Okay, so we will have the robe going on and off, and we will switch between the torso and the robe the proper way. The problem is, how do we keep the texture correctly set? Because now I'm pretty sure if I start it now I think it will work. Okay, but two problems. I mean, a number of problems. First, it doesn't work on the character selection because it seems that on the character selection we are using something else and we have to figure out what we are using. Second, it doesn't happen immediately when you enter the game. And this is also a bit weird, by the way, because I think it should, but for some reason it doesn't. And third, we are not keeping the texture. So we have at least these three problems to solve, you know, to actually be able to switch switch a mesh on a character properly. But when we solve this, you know, we solved it also for the plate, and these are the only two that we switch. So at the moment, so I think we are in good shape. But you see, here is not correct. Here is not correct. If I enter the game, is not correct, right? But if I remove the item and put the item, he actually, I mean, at the moment I think is the opposite of what it should be, but okay, anyway, it's just an on and off. But you see that he's actually doing the switch, right? Apart from the texture, which is wrong, and I know, because here is only setting the mesh, so he's only changing the skeletal mesh, and I assume anyway it will work also on movement. Yes, it works also on movement. I mean, there is a bit of a weight to fix on that left arm, but it seems to be fine. So the switch, well, I don't know why is the opposite of what it should be, but it's okay. So, and I'm pretty sure if I connect with another client, because that's all the mess that we did, you know, we did all this mess because we want, if another client connects, that he sees properly this guy equipping or de-equipping the robe. The problem is that this is not replicated automatically, so I have to do it. I do it manually with that function only when the equip is called, and I don't really like it because it means that, again, for all the other cases, maybe a kind of a mess. So if I connect with another character, which hopefully is in that location, or is close to that location, where is this guy? So if I connect with another client, right, and I watch what happens to this guy when he puts on fuck. It did not work. Okay, so we also have another problem then. That for some reason is not replicated to the other client. It is even more puzzling because okay, I can check the log of the second client because anyway every client is generating a log. So there should be a client 2. Yes, exactly. There is a client 2 and there should be custom event 1. Okay. Hmm. Okay, not even the after multicast is actually not even the after multicast is actually sent. Well, maybe because this is failing because this is null. It could be. It could be. It could be. Okay, I have to go because it's too late. So I will continue to understand what is going on. But definitely, what I understand from this is that this way is not working as expected. I mean, it's working on my client now, and he's working on the server, and he's sending it to me, and he's sending the switch, of the switch of the robe properly, but is not visible by other client, which is super weird, and is not working at the start because I think that at the start when the first character is loaded we are using a different method, but I think we should try to, if possible, to put together all these methods to use the same way because otherwise it will be very very complex. So I would like, if you keep an item, that function should be used from every part of the code. I don't want multiple functions doing the same thing. And at the moment, I think here in the pre-game, when we are requesting a character, we are probably using a different way to visualize the inventory. Spawned character load. Actually, it seems not. I think the trick here is that is working for the other stuff because we are using the replicated variables with rep notify, and it is basically working everywhere. And if I want to do it, Visual Studio. If I want to do it in a different way, I think he will. Hello, boxes. See ya. I'm going as well. It's too late. If I want to do it, in my own way with the blueprints and the multicast, the way I did it, I think is more complex and also is less consistent because we are not replicating the variables automatically. So I have to think what is the best way, because at the moment, because at the moment is not really, because when we are loading the character, even if it's in the startup, we see the traits. Why we see the traits? Because we are setting here. I'm pretty sure that we are, there it is, load traits, So we are loading the traits and we are setting, and this is setting the replicated variables. This is setting the replicated variables. And those replicated variables work with the rep notify and everything is working fine then. And everything is working fine. While if I do it manually, I have to do a lot more. So the trade-off, so here the trade-off, the trade-off is the following, is between, so we have two ways, we have one way, which is to, use rep notify for plate and robe, which means that these are two new variables to keep in sync with the inventory. That is the thing that bothers me, because I need to have two new variables on the character that when the inventory changes are getting updated, and that is a bit annoying. The big advantage of that is that we will have automatically on all the clients these two variables set, and with one function, with only one function. So the advantage is that we will have one function on the client to do the switch, to switch the item or whatever. The other way is the way that I try to do now, that I try to do tonight, and it was a bit of a massacre, if I can say, which is to do, the multicast manually, right? The multicast manually has the advantage of no variables, no new variables, because we just keep no new variables, because we just use the keep function. The big problem of this is that the keep function is not called. It is not called now at startup or enter game, and so basically, if we want to implement this method, we have to call this keep function manually. So we will have to, so the keep function will have to be called manually. So call a keep function, again, a start type and enter game, and so this will be basically duplicating the code. So there is a bit of code duplication here, in those places. So basically the process, so the trade-off is, do we want to duplicate code or do we want to duplicate variables? But one way or the other, I think we need to do it. I don't think there is a third way, I think there is only these two ways. So this duplicate variables and this duplicate code. I think here on the left the complexity is lower. But it is exactly what I need to understand, you know, which one is the lower complexity, which one of the two is the lower complexity. And then we implement one, because this system will be, you know, used in the future as well for other stuff. So we at the moment we are just using it for robes and plate, but in the future maybe used for a lot of other stuff. So like for example, if you have a mount and the mount has armor, right? And you need to equip the armor on top of the mount. I mean, it would be similar to that, to this system. So I think we need to do it right one time. What I understood from this one is that it's a bit of a mess to actually have it properly replicated to all the clients at the right time. While in this one on the left will be much easier to have it replicated automatically on all the clients. So I think it was a good session anyway. I mean, we had a bit of a pain and suffering actually, but I think I learned, well, first of all, I refreshed this schema, which is a great schema. I think it should be, you know, the first thing that people learn when discuss about when they want to learn replication in a real engine. And it is what it tricked me, because I was not remembering that. And second, I think that we crystallized, you know, the two options and the pros and cons of the two options, which I think is good. Let me see if our Mac Mini is still compiling, or if it finished. Maybe it finished. Maybe it finished to compile Unreal Engine, so, which is nice. Okay, with that said, I really need to go. I really would like to stay, but I cannot. I really would like to stay and go on forever, but I cannot. So thank you for watching, and I will see you soon. Bye bye.